muted. What is going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by. I am Subject. I'm going to bring Robert in here in a minute. But as he tried to say in the chat, next week we will not be playing The Last of Us Part 2. I might do a different game in return. Either finish off Walking Dead if we haven't finished it by then, or some more RE4. But we will see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and bring Robert in, and we're going to get started. You ugly motherfucker. Yeah, what? Who said you get a day off, Robert?
I did.
No, that's not how this works. This is my channel.
This isn't a democracy anymore.
It never was.
No. How have you been, sir?
Not too bad. I have been losing my life to Final Fantasy VII. How have you been?
Other than a crippling case of insomnia, I've been doing all right.
Who needs sleep?
You expect me to sleep every night? You do realize that night's like half of all time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, this fucking part. I forgot where we left off.
I see we're still stuck here.
You didn't see shit. Oh shit, get off me.
This is when you pull a throw gamer move.
Also, I just want to let everyone know we are under a severe storm warning, so I may lose power, but shit. We're gonna see what happens.
No, you're gonna be on a makeshift raft, still playing this game.
Oh, that reminds me. It's time for a new costume. Hopefully, you guys can't hear that stupid siren.
I don't hear anything.
We'll go with the Mortal Kombat shit. I feel like didn't I get past this?
No. We were definitely stuck here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it feels nice to switch things up every now and then.
Absolutely. Not exactly perfect camouflage, but doesn't really matter to the NPCs in this game, I would guess.
Exactly. They'll never see me. So we won't talk about it too much because we have to talk about it for 3 hours tomorrow. But you said you rewatched BVS. How was it?
I'll never tell.
Oh. You bastard.
It was maybe my fourth viewing of the extended cut start to finish. I haven't seen the theatrical cut since the theaters.
I also have not seen the theatrical cut since theaters.
Yeah, I had a couple different takeaways from it, I will say.
Takes away?
Takes away. That's the correct expression. And it reaffirmed some other thoughts I have on it.
Interesting.
I was talking to Torgo about this yesterday. It has been called the best superhero movie ever made and the worst superhero movie ever made. And I think both sides are equally hyperbolic.
As usual, the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Correct. Straddle the fence, that's what I always say. That's the lesson, right?
No. The lesson is fuck you. What the fuck? Dude, these fucking dogs.
It's that interesting gameplay obstacle that some people accuse this game of not having.
I know, right? I don't know, I feel like some people legitimately think these games are just hallway simulators when it's further from the truth.
Yeah, I agree. And we've talked about this before. As much as I love the Arkham games, and in many ways, I'd say that they are superior, like as video games compared to like the Last of Us games. But one thing I give these big credit for over that, especially by like the last couple Arkham games, it's just this kind of rinse and repeat formula of like, okay, you have a stealth mission, and then you have a brawl section, and then a stealth mission, and then a brawling section, and then there'll be a couple boss battles here and there. As fun as those games are, I really appreciate how in these games you just kind of get to go about these gameplay sections like however you want. You have a lot more freedom to just run past and get through this stuff as quickly as possible, kill everybody, or super stealthy. Like that, you have a lot of freedom as a player for how you handle these situations. Every time I see you with your flashlight on, I keep on thinking they're gonna see that. It's not a smart thing to be doing in this scenario.
You can hear that fucking dog.
Why do you gotta hate dogs?
Because they're a pain in the ass in this game.
She got away. Track her down, bullet! Damn it! Think it came from that direction! Anyone got a visual on her?
This area's clear.
So, is it a rainy day for you right now? Is it a lot of wind? What kind of weather are we talking about?
A lot of wind, and they're saying, like, storms with large chunks of hail.
Ooh.
I'd be fine if they'd stop blaring that damn tornado siren.
If you're ever in a tornado, you go under an overpass. That's what Man of Steel taught me.
Of course.
That is the correct. That is the correct logical thing to do.
Movies would never lie to me. They're always 100% factual.
For the record, don't do that. If somebody listens to me and dies, I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, you should do it, and then if somebody does die, sue Robert in La La Land. Really want to move on, but there's all those goodies over there.
Is that her? Let's see what that was. I found her! There! There!
Great shooting, kid. Don't get cocky.
Yahoo!
Don't let her escape.
Yay, murder.
Quiet.
I do like some murder.
Down there.
Oh, what the fuck? How many of you fuckers are there? I mean, good lord.
Hey, if you're gonna do a revenge, you gotta take out everybody. That's what I always say. But look at you, I think you killed everybody.
Finally.
Just needed that
Finally,
second wind.
The Rock has come. My chat is not loading, so I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned. Hang on, because I can't see chat the way it is currently. There we go. Don't want to miss anything. There's a bunch of shit in this house and then I'm back.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of the give and take of these games is you could waste a lot of resources taking everybody out, but then the reward is, well, now you have the freedom to explore all these areas, and they're usually pretty forgiving, although we have encountered some sections so far where you were really light on bullets, but it's not as much of a problem with you now, for you now.
For now, there's a metric fuck ton of things over here. Oh, hang on. I gotta shut my window. It's starting to rain, and I really don't want my room flooded.
Honestly, sometimes I enjoy nothing more than playing a game like this on just a nice rainy day. You know, when the weather isn't ridiculous and takes out your power. It adds to the atmosphere a lot.
No, I can definitely see that.
Although I imagine you probably get more rain often than I do. It's probably more of an annoyance for you.
I'm not a big fan of the sun, so
Oh.
it's not too bad.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the sun's pretty overrated in my opinion.
I'm a pale redhead. Of course I don't like the sun. What? How did you know exactly where to come? What the fuck?
Fucker! Push forward! Pull it!
I don't think so.
Stay on target. Stay on target. So you just murdered a lot of people.
I did. You know what? They deserved it. Now we need to see Robert plays The Last of Us.
No.
Let's check around here.
Oh, good. More of these assholes.
There's so many squads getting pulled in for one trespasser. Because the fucking school and the TV station.
I did get past that first part, but I think I died here.
Don't drop your guard.
Correct. I also think it was on a run where you just kind of trying to run through it and you were taking a lot of bullets.
Should we go help?
You can play that back to footage. I could be misremembering that, but I think it was on one run where you were just trying to
You've got.
barrel through as
I
quickly.
hate these fucking dogs. Get off me! Well, we're gonna do it again.
Not here.
At least until I can heal up.
Might be infected. Last thing we fucking need.
Hey. Right here.
What?
Heads up!
Shit.
Fuck this.
By the fence! Fuck! Drop in there! Smoke her out!
Oh yes, I remember.
Trespasser.
Go! Go! Don't let him escape!
He's got them surrounded. Close in.
Good use of that shotgun.
The scene that everybody else freaked out about.
What the hell are you doing here?
I think I'd let you do this on your own.
Jesse,
Where's Dina?
Hey, look, it's Jesse.
she's safe. She's just sick.
What kind of sick?
She's fine.
Christ, there's a lot of them.
Hey, how hurt are you?
I'll be okay. Your
I
friends
just
out
now
there.
noticed that you're wearing a Mortal Kombat shirt.
No, nothing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me you didn't come alone.
Give me shit about it later.
You're a fucking idiot. You know that, right?
Yeah. Right. See that truck?
That's your plan.
We need to get some distance.
This
Okay.
action sequence coming up is very Uncharted, and I love it.
You ready?
Hey, be smart about it.
Okay, the hell we searching for?
See if you can get it in one try.
Shit again? We need more guys by the fucking walls.
Preaching to the choir, man.
Maybe try that house?
Yeah.
To the right. Hey, it's them! By the fence! Pin her down!
You got this. I have full faith in you.
What the fuck's going on? Let's go! Ellie! Got the keys. Let's go! Get in!
Again, seriously? Get in. Oh yeah, I got to get in the passenger side. For some reason, I thought it wanted me to get in the back.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm trying.
Oh shit! Nope.
Jesus.
Watch out! Get the tires!
It's a whole lot of nope.
Go, go!
I need a clear shot.
Keep it steady!
This is getting way too fast and a little bit furious.
Ellie, take out the
I
driver.
think you mean too fast, too furious.
Ew.
I love how you're giving me the AO and you're the one that made the shitty joke in the first place.
It's not a great Fast and Furious movie, but it does have the best title.
Go, go!
Get off me.
Plus, in my defense, I was quoting 22 Jump Street, so that should have absolved me a little bit of
I'm
such
never-
shitty joke.
I mean, I've never seen it, so that means nothing to me.
They're pretty funny. They're
That's
good
what I've
comedies.
heard. At some point, I'll watch them. Good thing Joel taught her how to swim.
That's true.
Yo, what's up, Noah? How you doing?
What's up, my dude?
You okay?
Never better.
I think we're on the clear. Here, come on.
Oh, thanks.
This way.
Yeah, I probably agree with that, Noah. I think both are equally funny. Like, 22 Jump Street is the best example I've seen of a sequel just doing the first movie again and that being the joke and still being funny.
Dina!
Like, it repeats a lot of plot beats from the first one and acknowledges how absurd that is, but it doesn't repeat jokes, so, like, it's still a fresh, funny comedy for the most part. It's not like a lot of other comedy sequels where they just do the same jokes again because they have nothing else.
We should get inside. Yeah, okay, come on. Easy.
I also think 22 Jump Street was the first movie I saw Wyatt Russell in. He's like a
How'd you
football
get
player in that.
past
I had to sneak out. Friends' problems are my problems. I heard you're sick.
Oh, it's...
So how do you feel about this little love triangle with Ellie, Dina, and Jesse? I don't think they overdo it.
I don't think I never really saw it as a love triangle. They're clearly not into each other anymore.
So when'd you get back?
Ellie has a very Smallville, jealous, walking away face.
But that doesn't make it
Ellie's
a love
honestly-
triangle.
No, that's fair.
A love triangle is when there are three people and you have at least two of them in love with each other and one of them is in love with the other. It takes three people.
Well, I mean, Jesse still loves Dina, for sure, and
But I don't
there's
think he
clearly-
feels that way about her.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Hard to say. I mean, we don't explore...
No, I don't know. I think
Well-
he's being sincere when he tells her at the beginning that he's past it.
Yeah. I mean, he will find out later that he's going to be a father. You know, if we had more time to talk about that. And he seems excited about it.
Yeah,
no,
but
you're
even
right that
then,
it's not.
What's going on?
even
You're
then,
right that
he's
it's
more
not
just
literally.
like talking about as a parent.
Why?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're right that it's not literally a love triangle. It's just playing with some of those tropes without, overdoing it
Okay.
or throwing anyone under the bus.
Got stragglers.
How many?
Just a handful.
This fucking part. What are you up to tonight, Noah? Okay, Tommy, show off.
You want to give it a whirl?
Are you sure?
Well, I'm feeling generous.
Ah.
Sign there. Red one. Try hitting that. Good way to draw them out of wherever they're hiding. Got to aim higher. Leave the bullet room to drop.
I see.
Too high.
There you go.
Sounds attracting them.
I really like this part of the game, seeing Ellie going through a bit of her teen angst phase.
Make sure to compensate for the bullet.
Yeah.
But, she's, at this point, is really latching onto Tommy and is spending more time with him than Joel. She's a little
Gotcha.
standoffish with Joel at this point in time.
I don't even know if you
But
could call this a teenage rebellious phase, though.
I'm barely just factoring in just the literal age she is at this point. Because there's a couple things going on. There's these
Good
personal
luck.
things she's
Okay.
working through that she's not ready to talk about with Joel, so she's kind of keeping him at a distance. And then there's also what's really going on is just that nagging feeling that he's not being honest with her, and she just doesn't know what went down at
The same roots every
Salt Lake City, and that's just building and boiling over the years. So, like, that's literally what's going on. But there's also, she still loves Joel at this point in time. She's just not like hanging out with him or
Yeah,
super close.
I think teenage rebellion is a bit of an oversimplification.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I said teen angst, not like
Well, even then, it's a little
literal
like
rebellion.
I don't know. Teen angst is normally like, oh, life is so hard. I'm 14 and my parents won't buy me what I want.
No rush.
Yeah, that's fair.
You'll find it.
Motherfucker.
Oh, come on.
I'd call what he's going through more just survivor's guilt.
Two still.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's throughout both games. That's a big part of her character.
No, it's never been mentioned at all in these games. Did you ever play them?
Well, you were just talking about Survivor's Guilt like it's exclusive to this moment in time. Like, just saying that that's a big part of the first one, too.
No, but like it's a different
You're a natural.
different level. Where'd they go? There it is.
I'm impressed. Looks clear. Bet there's some this way. There's something by the ski lift.
Yeah, also, Ellie at this point in time is, wanting to be treated more like adults. She wants to be one of the adults, but she's still not given all the patrols and stuff. She wants, Joel's still very protective,
Mhm.
just relatable stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing I want more than to go out and face zombies that'll tear me to pieces.
Right. What, you don't want the zombie apocalypse to happen?
Not particularly. Am I supposed to be? Oh, yeah. These are the ones that are the worst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, teen angst isn't the right term for it, but another thing with her at this point that'll be alluded to later is, she still hasn't come out to Joel. He doesn't
Physics is wild, isn't it?
know that she likes girls, and she doesn't know how he'd react to that. So that's just those kind of personal things she's not ready to talk to him about yet because she doesn't know how he'll react, and as a result, she's just like not spending as much time with him, as she may have before.
See, I can't hit shit when it's this far away. That's fair, Noah. I don't know. Maybe it's just that we've devout, like, that word, like, teen angst doesn't mean anything nowadays. At least I feel like it doesn't.
What you think?
Well, especially when you have so many adults complaining about things like children online. Feels like we've regressed in a lot of areas.
Yeah, it's like, how dare children be children?
Well
Fucking
done.
finally.
Up more out there. Gonna have to tell Joel about this.
Please don't.
To
My
his-
performance is horrible.
Yeah, Tommy's dialogue should be different depending on how well you perform this sequence.
Yeah, I hope Joel's been stirring that stew. Probably just left it to burn.
Like, get him to yell at you, like you wasted 100 bullets. You're so bad at this, Ellie.
All right, let's head in. See if Joel's back.
I'm not taking you out here again.
I want to say that I was doing bad on purpose, but I'm bad at it.
Hand her over.
Yeah, I'm not great at this actually.
Hey, thanks for that. It's just what I needed.
Sure. Ladies first.
Don't shoot Tommy.
I'm not supposed to say anything, but Joel's worried about you.
You
There's
son of a bitch.
nothing to worry about.
Well, I'm sure
The sequence is also really sad though, seeing how close Ellie
he's gonna think something
and Tommy were during this time. Because they didn't interact a whole lot in the first game. And then we'll see what their relationship is like by the end of this game, and it's very tragic and very different.
That was y'all shooting up there, right?
Oh, just some stragglers.
That was all Tommy, Joel. It wasn't me.
How'd you like it?
Yeah, feels good.
Oh,
I see you haven't gotten around to changing the strings yet.
I didn't know I was supposed to.
Yeah, we'll get you some new ones.
well, there's that music store down there. I bet they got guitar stuff. I mean, that area's long overdue for a sweep anyway. I can keep watch.
What do you say, kiddo?
Sure.
And that's our cue.
Oh shit, those
This
are this
is-
month.
Are you sure you don't want to come?
Get on now.
Yeah, because Dune 2 is like the first day of March, and then we're getting Godzilla and Ghostbusters like at the tail end. So there's just kind of this big gap of like 2 or 3 weeks and nothing, and then we'll get both of those back to back.
Just the few we saw from the ridge. You?
Doesn't seem smart. You'd think they'd space those out more. What do I know?
I mean, different companies. Obviously, they're not gonna
Yeah.
try to bob before we get one another.
Well, I think there was more space between them. I think 1 or 2 of them were supposed to come out in April, and then
I'm a
got
better
moved
shot than
up.
almost all of them.
I feel like
And
Ghostbusters
I
got
have more
moved up.
experience than most of the
Yeah.
new recruits
Look.
who've...
If you think you're ready, I trust you.
Okay. Thanks.
You just do me a favor and start with the shorter routes for now. You know, see how you handle them.
All right.
Hey, you remember those Savage Starlight comic books that you're into?
Yeah?
And
Tell me that
also
fast
what I really
and
enjoy about
cool
this sequence is just that you get some fun
Did you like 'em?
gameplay
Oh,
against some
boy.
infected coming
Not
up
really my cup of tea.
as Ellie with Joel. Since
Dr.
you don't really get
Danielle
any of that in the first game, because
Savage.
by the time you do play as Ellie in that one, she's kind of on her own. There's not a lot of crossover. the Ellie and Joel gameplay
Yeah.
sections are fairly
He
separate.
definitely deserved it, but
You know, in the back half of that game. So here it's just cool to get like this action sequence coming up with Joel, but except you're playing as Ellie this time.
I think I'm also more excited for Godzilla X Kong just because Ghostbusters, under the new direction, is still kind of an unproven thing to me. But I finally watched one of the trailers for Frozen Empire or whatever it's called. And I think it looks awesome. Personally,
I'm kind of indifferent to both. Like, I think it could be fun.
and then Godzilla vs Kong just looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you're excited about it, that's cool. I think I'm out. I think I'm done, but I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum on this.
What, you don't want to see King Kong ride Godzilla?
I can watch that online, thank you very much.
Whoa, no, wait.
uh,
Not like that, you fucking pervert.
Hey, you said it.
No, have you seen that trailer?
Be able to swim across this.
okay, so
Uh,
now what?
It kind of went in one ear at the other.
Cutting through that
He, like,
Uh,
Kong literally, like, perches on Godzilla, clinging onto one of his fins, and they run into battle together. It's awesome.
Wow, you just walked right past a collectible.
Damn it.
You call
I
yourself
got
a gamer.
I got those once before. I don't need to do it again.
Something. Think you can
No, I mean, it looks like it could be
Worth a
fun.
shot.
I'm glad people are excited for it. I hope they enjoy it. I hope it delivers what's promising. After Godzilla vs. Kong, which I did enjoy, I was like, I think I'm good. I think I've seen enough of these.
Don't check Robert's search history. I don't want to now. It's gross.
I'm through. Hold on.
Maybe my issue is just I'm still waiting for Michael Dougherty just to make Trick or Treat 2.
What does that have to
We're
do
not-
with Godzilla vs. Kong?
Because he's directing these.
No, he's not.
He directed. Oh wait, no. I retract that. He did
Okay.
Godzilla 2, didn't he? I guess he did King of the Monsters. Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe
who directed
it's
that one.
Adam.
It's Adam Wingard.
Maybe it's Adam Wingard. Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Well, hello.
All right, he can make whatever.
You impressed?
You went from like point A to point 7.
need to eat more.
You're welcome.
We've heard it here, folks. Robert hates fun.
It's true.
No, I
Yeah, I
love
haven't-
Godzilla vs. Kong. They did my boy Mecha Godzilla.
It's kind of
I
rushed.
think I see a way through.
Yeah.
Doors.
How long do you need?
Let's go.
Do I have to? It's just us.
What if we run into someone?
You were there to see Monkey and Lizard fight. Monkey and Lizard fought.
No, it delivers on what it promises. I think I've just had my fill.
No.
Maybe if the villain in the new one looked more interesting, I'd be more excited. But
You're not excited
It's just,
about
uh,
orangutan?
You gotta be smart about this.
Yeah.
You start wearing that mask, kiddo, and eventually you're gonna slip up in front of someone you shouldn't.
I've never slipped.
You ain't told nobody, do, have you? Not Jesse, Dina.
Of course not.
Okay, good.
oh, now who's the master of bad puns? Noah calling Frozen Empire cool. I see what he's doing.
Cool party.
You ever been in here before?
He turned into Mr. Freeze for a
Cold
second.
Streets. Feeling like a bit of an oversight now.
Maybe.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed Godzilla vs. Kong. I just don't need more than that.
No.
I'd like to be proven wrong.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I was also just spoiled with a Godzilla -1, which is amazing. And kind of more what I'm in the mood for right now.
Yes, because there can't be multiple genres of Godzilla movies.
I didn't say that.
No, I just find it funny. A lot of the discourse I see about that movie, it's so silly. We started out with 2014. Yeah, and that's the worst one. It 100% is. The monster is lame. The fights are okay. The human characters suck.
Bryan Cranston's great in it.
But he dies.
Yeah. No, King of the Monsters just didn't do it for
Way
me.
better. Dude, Ghidorah, man, that was awesome.
I mean, there's great visuals when you can see them. And it's not
Oh,
up
the
close and shaky
clouds.
cam. I mean, you like watching movies in the dark, that's fine. Where you can't see anything.
I've seen dark movies, and that is no AVP power.
That's true. That is the darkest of them all. Now, I thought King of the Monsters just was really weighed down and bad human characters. And so slow.
Is it one of us?
It is, but they also get the monster stuff off perfect. I think.
Yeah, some of them are cool. Godzilla vs. Kong is dumb fun. It's just when you're stuck with the humans, it's kind of a slog.
Well, I'm just surprised this new one doesn't seem to be bringing back Millie Bobby Brown for a third one.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She got her paycheck and dipped out.
Yeah. I'm fine. Hey, if she wants to star in shitty Netflix movies, she can go for it.
Yeah.
Skull Island is also my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just the King Kong fan in me, since I've always been more of a King Kong guy than a Godzilla guy, but I like Skull Island, and that movie at the time was criticized hard for having like lame, boring characters, and maybe they are on the page, but I think those actors bring a lot of personality to that movie. That's the only one I
Control, right?
find like boring at all.
It's also just nice to have a King Kong movie that's not a remake of King Kong.
Yeah, it was something different. I mean, I'm fine with doing another King Kong remake at some point, but you just gotta give it like another 20 years.
I am all for
I think it's-
remakes, but I don't know what you do after Jackson. He just made, in my opinion, the definitive like Kong movie.
I don't disagree with that, but I still think there are a couple angles you could do differently or things you could improve on. Like, I don't think that movie's perfect, but I do like it a lot. And it is very long.
I mean, like I said, I've always tell people I am pro remake as long as you can bring something new to the table. The problem with the remakes that I complain about, like the RoboCop remake or this new The Crow, is they're not bringing anything new to the table. They're just lame.
But they're for a modern audience. That justifies it.
Oh.
I don't even know what to do with that excuse where it's like, we're remaking Harry Potter to introduce Harry Potter to a new generation of kids. Like, or just show them the old movies.
Honestly, though, this might be a hot take for Harry Potter fans that only watch the movies. Glad they're remaking it. Those movies get a lot wrong, and a TV series is the perfect place to correct those wrongs.
There is some stuff that was cut for a reason that never needed to be there.
But you can still cut that stuff, but make it like feel more like Harry Potter. Those movies get real lazy after the third movie with like set design, costuming.
Oh, I don't agree at all. I think they all have their gorgeous moments.
So why did they stop wearing their school outfits after the second movie?
So that they look more interesting. So that you can do more with.
But why do you need
outfit designs?
It's a school. They should be wearing their school robes.
They wear them during class. They're consistent about that.
Do they?
Yeah. It's just like when they're walking around the grounds is when they're wearing different outfits, but when they're like actually in the class, they're still wearing their uniforms.
I don't think so.
I mean,
maybe in book 3 or movie 3, but like by the fourth movie, they've got rid of the robes altogether.
That is factually not true.
Joel, I think we did it.
I think so.
It's admittedly been a few months since I watched those, but I don't remember them wearing the robes in any of the later movies.
Me too.
I can name several scenes off the top of my head.
Name one.
For today.
Well, a lot of the Dumbledore's army like training stuff. I mean, which obviously isn't in class, but I mean,
Hold on,
unless
we have to settle this. Hold on.
unless you're literally talking about like just the robe part of the outfits, but like they're still always wearing their sweaters and ties.
Okay, that's
the uniform.
which includes the robe.
When Moody's teaching defense against the dark arts in the fourth one, they're wearing
Okay.
their robes.
Harry Potter or all I can find is like actual classrooms.
I mean, you're right that they don't wear them as frequently in the later movies.
Yeah, and basically every side character is like non-existent after 2, really.
I mean, that's both true and not true. There's a lot of characters in the movie. Look, I love the
Okay,
movies.
but there's
like, they
a
are flawed.
hierarchy of characters that you should focus on, and they just don't. They said, "Fuck it, we'll do none of them."
That's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was not expecting to be. I mean, that's debated. Like, yeah, obviously, there's more character stuff in the books that's cut out, and I'm not even saying you can't do it as a show. It just feels kind of soon, and I'd be more excited if it was animated. That would just give
Okay,
it a
but
different
can
feel.
I ask you this?
Sure.
It's been over a decade since those movies ended.
That's not that. At least in my opinion, that's not that long.
It'll probably be even longer before that show even goes into pre-production.
Yeah, we'll see.
How long do you want them to wait?
Following you.
30 years.
That's ridiculous.
Like I said, I'm not like opposed
They
to doing it
they
again.
cut out entire subplots that are important.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's super awkward when you get to the 7th movie and Dobby just dies and we're supposed to care about him when he hasn't shown up since the 2nd one.
No, that still totally works. He's a big part of the second movie.
Okay, but the only time that he was present is when he was trying to kill Harry.
No, that's
Hang on.
he was trying to save Harry. That's the
Hang
exact
on.
opposite.
Hang on.
of what
I'm in
you
a
said.
I'm in a bloater fight.
Noah, back me up on it.
Ah, shit.
And like my problem. No, you guys maybe disagree with me. My problem with doing each book as a season is the first 2 books. Like maybe if they were just like 4 episodes or 5, but like those don't need full seasons. Like they did them as 2.5-hour long movies, and you
And they
get
still
enough.
cut
Yeah,
things.
yeah, like, because you don't need literally everything. It's not having an
Okay, but if you're gonna do it in a show, then just do it. Do everything.
I don't think that would case again if it was just a few episodes maybe.
But you also got to remember, these are going to be streaming shows. There are always only like 8 episodes.
Eight episodes for either of the first 2 books seems.
They made
really
it work with
excessive
Percy
to me.
Jackson. That
Okay,
first
I'll take
season
your
is
word on
book
that.
1, and that book is the first book of Percy Jackson is about the same length as the first Harry Potter.
Okay.
You could
I'm just
also
saying
put
that,
back
like,
in all the
those aren't
Quidditch
long
games.
books.
I missed the Quidditch games.
Yeah, I like the Quidditch games. You don't need all of them, but they're fun.
I'm going to be that guy. You're remaking it, put it all back in.
As a show, you're not wrong. You know. in a different. But like, I just think doing it animated would just give it more of its own identity and feel.
Yeah, but animation sucks in the United States right now, and I don't want Into the Spider-Verse, but it's Harry Potter.
It would have to have been on the art style. I mean, Invincible.
No, I mean, I don't want the Spider-Verse art style, and that's 100% what Warner Brothers would do.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, it wouldn't look like that on television.
You'd be
You know, they can't afford to do that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No,
But
it'll end up looking like that Aquaman show from a few years ago.
Woof. Yeah. And, what was I gonna say?
I
Yeah,
am
no,
all
I
for
see what you're
animation,
saying,
but
though.
for shit. Joel, save me! Thank you.
I could just see what you're saying in that, like, they could try to do, like, the low frame rate thing, which doesn't in a lot of things outside of Spider-Man.
But no, you could
And
flesh out all of the stuff that the movies cut out. The Weasley twins, Percy.
The twins are in a lot of the movies, dude.
We fucking did it.
They have maybe a token scene in 4 or 5.
Okay, that's just factually not true.
What do they do in 4?
They have the scene where they try to cheat the Goblet of Fire, then they turn old.
Which is a token
There's a
scene.
Then there's a scene later where they're teasing the other kids about getting dates for the Yule Ball. They're with them for a lot of the first section when they go to the tournament, the Quidditch World Cup. They're there.
Okay, but how much
Like,
screen
they're
time do you
throughout-
say they get in the
It's like
4th
two
movie?
motors back there.
I don't know. Like, dude, it's a movie with an ensemble. They don't all need 40 minutes.
They don't all need a bunch of time, but they do nothing with the Weasley twins that is, like, interesting.
They're in a lot of the. They're in a lot
They-
of the 5th movie.
No, they cut out all of their stuff in the 5th one.
Yeah.
They're in a lot of it. They help out that Colin kid. They're the ones who get the revenge on Dolores. Umbridge.
Jesse and Dina are gonna lose
You know,
their shit
they're
when they hear
with
about
them
this.
at the start,
Still with them too, anyway.
like apparating and messing around. Like they're in a lot of that movie.
Well,
I'm not saying that stuff isn't cut that you couldn't flesh out.
No, Jesse
I'm just
and
not
Dina's
excited
friends.
for that show.
But you're arguing that they're in the movie, which is fair, whatever.
Not so keen with
For not more than token scenes, but every scene you're describing is just, oh, here, the Weasley twins are here, by the way.
Yeah, because they're about Harry Potter. They're from his perspective.
But the thing that was interesting about those books is you made it about Harry Potter, but you got to see like this entire world through his eyes. When you cut down all that side stuff, it just feels empty. Like with Dobby. The only time Dobby shows up in those movies is in the 2nd movie where he's trying to, quote, save Harry Potter by maiming him. And then we're supposed to be upset when this character that we haven't seen in 5 movies shows up and dies.
You've just watched any reaction to those movies on YouTube.
Okay.
Those are
It
YouTube
seems to
reactions.
work.
Their job is to cry on camera. And I am aware that in the movies you cannot do everything. But the fact that the 5th movie is, I think, the shortest movie, it's been a minute, so you fact check me on that one. When it's the longest book is insane.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
They cut out so much important stuff. Stuff that is factually important to the ongoing narrative in both 4 and 5. That they had to scramble to fix it with 6 and 7. And 6 sucks. It's the worst one.
There's a lot of it I enjoy.
I think you're right.
It definitely cuts too much, but I like the Malfoy stuff
But we got tired of
in
hearing
6 a
it.
lot.
And even that, I feel like they cut down too much.
We wanted to save
Yeah,
them
exactly.
That's
No,
right.
that's why a show adaptation could be cool. You could get that stuff back and, like,
before running
remind people this is why you loved Harry Potter.
Britain. We've decided we're gonna end our
Okay.
lives instead of turning.
For the record, I never said I was against the show. I was against the
Still our
selling
family
point of
friends.
we're introducing Harry Potter to a new generation of kids instead of just
I
showing
mean,
them
they're
the
not
original
wrong.
books. Or having them read the books.
I mean, nobody, it's a sad state, but people don't read anymore.
I can't take my own life. I'm a fucking coward.
Yep, and that's the problem.
Adam.
Like I said, I'm not like against it. All I said was I'm not excited for it, but there is
No.
stuff cut out that they can put it back in.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Absolutely. Okay.
Well, it's
It might be. I'm not saying it will be or won't
we
be.
can get these bodies back to Jackson.
After you took me out of the Firefly Hospital,
Yeah, exactly, Noah. That's why show adaptation could be cool.
you said there
That's
were
what a lot of these should like. You couldn't have done that in early 2000s, but arguably that's what all these books that we've adapted into movies should have been at some point. Is just turn it into a show.
I've never met another.
Oh
amazing
yeah, for
person.
sure. Like there are lots. Like that's just not how we made entertainment 20 years ago.
Well, you couldn't have done Harry Potter on TV back in the day.
No.
You do.
And like I said, like those movies do have problems. You know, they're not perfect, but I love a lot of them. Like I
And
love the books and I
they're-
love the movies.
Their second Dumbledore is not good.
He's very good in 6. He has his moments.
Across the entire country to bring me to the Fireflies. I had so many questions for them.
Well, yeah, but I just mean, like, I think it makes sense to say, hey, we're introducing this to a new generation. Because not every parent is going to show every kid what they grew up with. Some kids just aren't interested, but they'll be interested in a new version.
How do you know they were useless? Maybe if you just would have given them more time, they could have figured something out.
I don't know. I mean,
No cure.
Like, I'll use myself as an example. I discovered Harry Potter through the 4th book because my friends were reading it and I wanted to read it.
okay.
Or I discovered Friday the 13th through the last one, which was Jason X
Things were
at the
different.
time,
I wish things were different.
and worked my way backwards. This movie, the show, could also introduce a whole generation of people to those movies.
Yeah, that's not wrong. I could just name off plenty of remakes that don't succeed at that.
There's something else you'd like to read?
Well,
It's not a surefire success.
No, and I'm
And I
not
mean-
saying it's a success. I'm just saying I think it's the right move.
Okay.
And
I'm just
remake of Harry Potter was inevitable, especially when Warner Brothers is desperate for money.
Yeah. Well, and again, that's the business side, not for the sake of art.
Yeah,
side.
well, I'm not an
We know why
idealist.
they're making it.
I'm not an idealist. I understand why things are made.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying that, like, I have nieces that were born.
I
After,
hope they were
like,
born.
around-
That'd be a little weird.
No, around when the movie's wrapping up and they're into those movies. Like, they're not that dated.
No, I don't think any of them are dated.
Yeah, only the first one, and that's really just, like, effects, but
And that's one of the best ones.
Let me do that.
The first two are the only ones that legitimately capture how I feel reading the books.
I mean, that's fine. That's just up to the individual.
Three
You know,
is
there are
good.
different things for me.
3 is really good, but every movie after 3 is trying to be 3 again,
To him.
and it really makes an uneven second half of the franchise.
Wasn't the right time.
Yes and no. I like the different visions and styles
There you go.
throughout them.
4 is a mixed bag for me. I really hate how they changed the Triwizard events.
Anything worthwhile?
Actually, yeah.
And there was something else they changed about 4, because I really like the 4th book.
This girl, Nora.
Yeah, the fourth book's good. You just don't need that house elf subplot. They were fine to cut that.
Yes, you do.
What the? Well, I mean, I understand wishing
Wait,
that,
which
like,
house
Dobby
plot are
and-
you? Which house? How? Wait, which house elf plot are you talking about?
She could be gone by then.
when Hermione wants to free them
We know her location.
and she finds out
No,
that
you
they're
don't
slaves.
need that. But again, that's another character thing that they cut out. Hermione and Ron have next to no characterization in those latter movies. They're just Harry Potter's friends.
Good.
I mean, I don't agree with that.
Can you come help me with the door?
But
They
no, the
obviously
thing that
get
they cut
more
out of
books.
4 that you need is the Winky subplot.
Yeah,
Because
Winky,
that's-
that was her name.
Because that is connected
Yeah.
to Barty, the Crouches, and it's what clues Harry in that there's something wrong with the Crouch family, and it sets up
If I find
Barty Crouch Jr.
Take me to the
Other than just a flat in the movie when you get a flash of David Tennant, you don't know who the hell that's supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, if you're paying attention, you'd recognize him from earlier. But yeah, no, that subplot I wouldn't have cut it.
And it gives you more time with Dobby.
Yeah.
And I'm just mad they cut out the Chimera in the Triwizard Tournament because that was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the movies go, Prisoner of Azkaban's for sure my favorite. I also love the last one a lot.
I love Seven. Seven is probably my third favorite just because they took their time and, like, I think it was the right move to split it in two.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Deathly Hallows Part 1 still cuts too much, and I have issues with that movie, but that I love a lot of that one still.
Okay. That one I've not went back to as much book-wise, so I don't have it as memorized. But I'm sure they probably cut important stuff.
Yeah, and Part 1 is like one of my favorite scenes in the movies that isn't in the book that I think is a good addition.
The Harry and Hermione dance scene.
Yeah, I like that scene a lot.
I love that scene. And I know a lot of what J.K. Rowling says.
I thought you were going to fight me on that. No, I thought you were going to fight me on that because a lot of Harry Potter fans hate that scene.
Oh, really? No, so I know a lot of what J.K. Rowling said about the books later on is just revisionist history. But reading the books, I always thought that it was going to end, like, Harry and Hermione were going to end up as, like, a couple in those books. And I feel like the director thought that was a better idea than what we got in the books. So he kept, like, teasing. I was like, oh, it's a nice little moment. It's not going to go anywhere, but it's a nice little moment. And it helps that Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson had really good, like, on-set chemistry.
Yeah, for sure. And that's I'm not saying they can't do it, but I think the casting across the board in those movies is mostly fantastic. Not everyone's perfect, but pretty damn close in my opinion. Those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah, it is, but I also resist saying, like, you can't, like, the shoes are too big, because everything has been recast, and in my opinion, sometimes it's as good, if not better.
Yeah, no, there are examples.
I may be on an island on this one, but I don't think Christopher Reeve is the best Superman anymore. Even, like, my favorite, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, I'm ready for a new Wolverine.
Oh, for sure. I've talked about this many times. I'm extremely inconsistent when it comes to that stuff. It's entirely just bias and personal. What characters I'm like, yeah, or what properties I'm like, oh, you can remake that or you reboot that. I think, and this goes to your point, to your defense about being fine with doing Harry Potter as a show. I think, generally speaking, obviously exceptions. I don't claim to be consistent about this, but if you have a pre-existing property that is then adapted into a movie with an actor, then it's an easier sell to later reboot and recast or do a new take or whatever. But if you have an iconic character that originates with an actor with a film, that's a much harder sell to me to remake or redo. That's generally how I operate.
I actually completely agree. Well, it's funny because the other day you were trying to say, like, you were trying to figure out, like, my taste, but really it varies. We all have our biases. Yeah. But, like, with comic book characters, I'm always down to see the recast, even if I have ones that I'm like, you can't top this.
Yeah, because with comics, it's like, well, you have decades of history.
But I never want to see somebody else play Ash, for example, from Evil Dead. That's Bruce Campbell.
Like, thank you. Anyone who says, I'm fine with recasting Ash, it's like, but why, though?
No,
what's the point?
It's not like Ash is a super complicated character. What makes Ash Ash is Bruce Campbell. You can't replicate that.
We are 1,000% on the same page on that one. And I respect, like Austin, for anyone's point of view as well. I just don't want more Evil Dead, or I don't want Evil Dead without Ash. Like, I respect that. I think that's fair. I may not agree, but I think
Yeah.
that's fine. But if you're clamoring for an Evil Dead remake with Ash and recasting Ash, then I think you're weird. And I don't agree.
I am all for more Evil Dead until they release an Evil Dead movie that I don't like. Like I have a plethora of problems with Rise, but it's still fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You like I don't know. If they make a
I
bad
mean,
one, then I'll be like, yeah, maybe it's time to stop.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're talking about horror franchises. You know, ignoring Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is obviously 3 full season television, but just as far as the movies go, you have what, like 5 movies in 30 years, 40 years? Like, I haven't reached like burnout stage yet of, okay, I think I have enough Evil Dead. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking for more, but I'm also not like over it, if that makes any sense.
Get in there.
No, for sure. I'm in a weird
Yeah.
state where it's like I very much want more, but the more that I want isn't gonna happen, so I'm just kind of in a wait and see attitude.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I love Hugh Jackman's Wolverine as much as anyone else, but you know, that character has decades of comic book history before Hugh Jackman. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing a new actor. And I mean, we haven't talked about this. I'm actually kind of looking forward to Deadpool and Wolverine, but there's still that irritating factor of, you know, the more you keep bringing Hugh Jackman back, the more difficult you're going to make it for your future actor and audiences accepting your future actor. Because if we didn't bring him back, it's like, you know, Logan was several years ago. I think people were ready to move on. But now he's back, so you're only making it harder for whoever your new actor is gonna end up being.
Yeah, I mean,
the
I don't
distance
disagree.
helps a lot.
I don't disagree. I think it helps that it's a Deadpool movie.
Mhm.
And I'm sure this was the plan, like even back before the buyout. I want to be excited because they did the one thing that I said would get me excited for a Deadpool movie, but I don't like Deadpool, so I watched it on Disney Plus. But
and I mean, I legitimately like the Deadpool movies, so.
And see, I think that first one is like okay, and then I thought 2 was awful.
2 is definitely a step down. I definitely prefer 1.
I will gladly watch it on Disney Plus to see what Hugh Jackman does.
Yeah.
Let's see what they got in here.
But I'm not expecting much.
Yeah, I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine can go wrong in a lot of places. Just so far, I'm digging what they're doing with it, and
I just kind of felt
how it
nothing
could
when I
be.
watched the trailer.
Yeah, I got a couple laughs, and there were some good visuals. I'm not like crazy hyped out of my mind for it, but like I said, I like the Deadpool movies, so I'm liking what I'm seeing of it. And okay, I mean, if you want a hot take, the thing everyone's freaking out about is Hugh Jackman wearing the yellow suit, and that's the thing I'm kind of indifferent toward.
See, that's the only thing I like so far.
But if he had the mask, I think I'd be like more excited. And apparently he will, just based on like merchandise and stuff. But if he wears that mask for like 5 seconds, I'm gonna be annoyed. Because that's all I want to see is Wolverine with the mask, which is something we've never gotten. Him just in yellow just doesn't do a lot.
Well, I mean, even in that set photo, the first set photo that revealed he would have the yellow suit, it looked like his mask was just like hanging behind his head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm indifferent to the mask. Oh crap! Hang on, I'll be right back. God damn it! Fucking game.
You picked the worst spot. I love this is the jump scare moment, huh? Yeah, as an action movie, I can agree with that. 2 does have better action. It also has Peter, who's my favorite. Now, there's good stuff in 2. The thing that really hurts 2 for me is just the way that they fridge his girlfriend. That sucked, and it hurts the whole movie. But then they retcon that with the end credits, and what I've seen from the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer is that, or at least how I'm reading into it, is she's alive, but they're not dating anymore. Like there's problems there. I like in the trailer how we see Deadpool and like all his friends that he resurrected, who all died horribly in some timeline variation. He is all resurrected through time travel. They're all there. He's happy, but he's not in a relationship anymore, so he's actually really sad and doesn't have exactly what he wants. I think that's potentially gonna be an interesting choice. So that's the stuff where I like what I've seen. But like I said, I mean, 2 does have better action than the first one, so from that perspective, totally get it. I just think Deadpool 1 is a really good romantic comedy, and then the second one completely throws that away. So I'm curious how they're going to resolve that stuff in the third one. I just like that it at least looks like a Deadpool movie, and it's not just a cameo fest, and it doesn't just look like a MCU movie. Like, it still looks like a Deadpool 3. So, like I said, I like what I've seen from it so far.
All right, sorry about that, chat. We are back. How's it going, Robert?
Pretty good. But yeah, Ash, Bruce Campbell, that's a big one I'm really attached to that I have no interest in seeing recast. And another big one for me is, regardless of how you feel about the later movies, but I'm someone who doesn't want Indiana Jones recast, rebooted, and remade. I just stop.
That's indifferent.
A big personal one for me.
Isaac can go to hell!
I really wish I liked Indiana Jones more, but they're just movies that are fine.
No, I mean, you're just wrong.
So I hear.
But yeah, I think we're generally on the same page, though, where it's like, if you have something that's based on a book or a comic or whatever, it's easier to accept new actors in those roles. But, like, Indiana Jones would not be the same character if it was Tom Selleck.
See you, man.
Like, I'm not saying it would be bad. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't
The ones I'm
but it would be a
conflicted
different
on,
character.
the one I'm conflicted on is the slasher icons. As I said for years, I didn't want to see anybody else play Hellraiser but Doug Bradley. And then the remake happened, and it was pretty good.
And you already had... And that's the thing you can feel one of two ways about. It's like, because you're not just comparing a new actor to Doug Bradley, you're also comparing a new actor to really bad Pinhead recastings before that. So it's like, no matter how you look at it, it's like, well, it's at least an improvement, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to top Bradley, but like the new person was pretty good.
Yeah, and they went in a different direction with it, which was smart.
I'm still
A new
TBD on Freddy Krueger. I think you could recast that, but I haven't been won over on anything.
That one's tough. I mean, I like Jackie Earle. I think Jackie Earle is fine. I just don't like the movies. And
I think he would have been fine if that movie could pick a lane, but it wants to have serious Freddy, but also jokey Freddy.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the most interesting angle that movie has is being ambiguous about if he was actually guilty of the things he was murdered for, and then they completely go back on that at the end. So even that new angle wasn't worth it.
No, but it is really funny to hear him growl one-liners. Like, my favorite...
Yeah, he's just doing his Rorschach voice.
My favorite is when she finds the dead dog in her dreams, and he's like, I was just petting him. Like, what? Is this supposed to be funny? Scary? I don't...
Yeah, like, what?
Be more careful.
And then that ending CGI is... Whew.
Ooh.
I like a few of those Michael Bay remakes. That is not one of them.
Yeah. Well, and it's tough because it's like, I think on principle, or like in theory, I would think that remaking something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is sacrilege. It shouldn't be done. But coming off of a couple of really bad, weird sequels, and then getting the remake we got, it's like, I'm kind of fine with this. Like I said, we're not consistent about it.
I think I don't think anything is above being remade. Check me on that when they remake something I really like and it looks awful, but
Yeah.
it's just you gotta have somebody who is either passionate about the source material or who has a vision. Texas
different take,
03 Texas 03 has faults, but like it's a different thing, but still feels like a Texas Chainsaw movie.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the same cinematographer who's doing something very different with it. Toby Hooper's still
Cinematographer.
involved.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
You know, so yeah, like I just like, so it still had that. It wasn't like other remakes where the original filmmakers were like, "Ah, screw you." Like, I will say, if you have a popular hit film and the filmmaker that vocally says, "I don't want this remade," I'm usually going to be on their side. That's just my opinion. Like the whole, a big example of that is with the Child's Play franchise. With, you know,
well, I just
your
a
original
remake
creator
was
being
so
like,
weird because the franchise is still going. Why are you remaking it?
yeah, which is why I'm blanking on his name, but you know, the creator of the franchise was so vocally against it. Like, he's like, "No, I don't." And I mean, it seemed to work out. It seemed to work out since that show's still going, and that remake was just kind of one and done. And that's another situation you run into where it's like, well, a remake's potentially warranted or interesting if you do a new take, which the Child's Play remake did. So I'll at least give it credit for that. But then a few years later, you get something like Megan that's just using that concept, but at least making an original property out of it. You know, whether you like Megan or not. That's usually the better alternative, though. It's like, if your new direction is so drastically different from the first one, maybe just do something original.
Yeah, but that doesn't
And I
sell.
think, yeah, well, I mean, Megan was a hit. It was a bigger hit than the Child's Play remake.
Yeah, that remake's biggest sin is it wastes Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
How do you waste Mark Hamill? Do you remember how to get into this fucking safe over here?
Did you check the calendar?
Oh, wait a minute. Calendar. No, I did not.
I think there was something on a wall.
I'm indifferent towards that remake. I think the first two acts are like really good, and then the third act just gets like the wrong kind of batshit crazy.
I also haven't actually seen the Child's Play remake. I just know.
What are you complaining for? I like how you hesitated. Like, is he joking? I don't know what's happening.
It's like, is this a? I'm like, no, but I think he's referencing I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I'm not 100% sure, so
No,
I can't
because that
say.
movie sucks.
I like things about it.
Um,
Yeah, check the bedroom again if you haven't already.
the main thing that remake has that's really good is Audrey Plaza's great as the mom.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's also weird because a lot of people.
Oh wait, it's something
like,
to do with one of these dates. 10,
That
20,
dates.
10, 8,
Yeah,
13. It's got to be the
Okay.
anniversary.
I'm glad I wasn't going insane.
Why?
Because I was like, I think I saw a calendar, but I'm not 100% sure.
Nope.
Better check it again.
It's one of those dates. It's
There's
one of those days. But yeah, I just remember some people saying like, "Oh, this is weird because I don't see Aubrey Plaza as a mom," and it's like, she's in her 30s. She's an actress. She can do. I think that's a weird thing to complain about. But like I said, I haven't actually seen that movie.
It's all right. It helps that I went in with the lowest of standards. Combination is still set to our wedding date. Oh, okay. So wedding date would have been...
Don't make me do math.
Oh, God. I don't know. Calculator. Pull up a fucking calculator for this game. 1983. Okay, so 10/8/83.
I'm waiting in anticipation.
But Chucky is another one of those where, like, we've recast it now in a remake with an actor that I like a lot, and I'm still not sure anybody but Brad Dourif can play Chucky.
Hmm.
There we go.
No, that's fair. And I mean, I'm behind on the show. I've only seen the first season. It is a story I'm kind of ready to see wrapped up sooner rather than later. You know, he is getting pretty old. I'm usually one who kind of wants a franchise to go out on a high note. I like what I've seen of the show. I just hope it doesn't, go on too longer.
I have to imagine the show is. I have to imagine the show is the end. And from what I've heard, it's doing pretty well.
No. I mean, the last couple movies were like direct to video, so I mean,
have you seen
end the show and then. Well, yeah, the Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky. I've seen all the movies,
okay.
Not counting the remake. But, I don't know what his plans are, but I could see that happening. Like the show gets wrapped up, and then he does like one last movie. That's just a direct to video thing. I don't know what he has planned.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or he could just end the whole thing with the series.
I haven't caught all of season 3 yet, but season 2 was quite good.
Okay, that's good.
They do an Exorcist episode, and it's awesome.
Oh, nice. There's just that worst case scenario of like, oh god, imagine the show gets canceled and nothing resolved. And I mean, even if that happened, I'm sure he could get another movie made. I would think, but
yeah, I don't know.
One of those things you get nervous about.
It's also strange because in some ways the show doesn't even feel like a continuation of the movies, even though it is.
It succeeds at being its own thing. And I mean, the movies always had a fairly loose continuity. They retcon, change stuff all the time.
Yeah, I just mean it's because the show has to focus on a new set of characters.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is a good thing. It has going for it.
Yes and no. Like, I was kind of hoping Nika would be the lead. I love Nika.
Oh, no, that's fair. She's really great, and so far she's been a bit shafted in the show. I don't know how.
Oh my
seasons
god.
2 and 3. Well, I mean, I've seen season 1, so I know where that leaves off with.
Yeah.
That was a choice.
That is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen happen to a final girl.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but I haven't seen season 2.
I'm so fascinated because you can't go back.
Yeah, I mean, have we put her in a doll body yet? Because that's obviously the thing you would do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Using magic to. But yeah, that's dark stuff, and it's a choice that I get making people upset. But if the actress is fine with it, I don't know. Definitely
that show is so absurd that it's like, who cares? Shit.
Yeah, that's why I don't hate Cult of Chucky like everyone else does, because I think she's at least used well in it.
I don't hate that movie. I think that movie's a blast. I don't know. People have this weird thing with the Child's Play franchise where it feels like they seem to think it was always like a serious horror film. But even those first two are funny.
Yeah, there's still plenty of serious moments.
Yeah, but I mean so the show has them too. I think the only one
It's-
that goes a bridge too far, and I still love it, is Seed of Chucky. I think that might have been a step
yeah.
too far.
It does, but it's so weird and interesting. I gotta respect it.
Yeah, no, that movie is awesome. That was my first Child's Play movie.
Oh wow, okay, that's interesting. I think it's that situation where a lot of people grew up on Child's Play, and it's something that really scared them when they were children. Because Chucky's just a really scary concept when you're a child, and then when you're an adult, you want it to be like or feel like how you remember it. I think it's that issue.
That is entirely possible.
Damn it. There's some good stuff in
Because the first film, and I got to the franchise fairly late. I mean, I didn't see even the first movie until I was an adult and started going through them. But it's like, yeah, I think it's a good horror movie with, you know, comedic moments and serious moments and stuff. But like, would I call it scary? No.
I think the first one has its moments.
Not at all. Yeah, and it works. We've talked about this before, like having seen just a lot of horror movies. It's just like, well, I'm not judging a horror movie on if I'm scared or not, because most of them don't scare me anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, am I entertained? Am I invested?
Are you not entertained?
You know?
I was kind of bummed. I was going to pick up that Aliens 4K today, but everyone is sold out.
I also haven't heard great things about it.
I have heard that the one that everyone that came out that like everyone was freaking out about is the digital copy, but I have heard that the disc fixes a lot of that.
Okay, that's good. Of the new Cameron 4Ks, what I've heard is that True Lies is by far the worst looking one.
That is what I've heard too, which really pisses me off because out of the three of them, I think that's the one I wanted the most.
That's a shame.
Just because that movie hasn't been available for like 2 decades.
Yeah, I got lucky because I got like a cheap bootleg Blu-ray of it, and I mean it's probably looks more like just like a high quality like DVD, but I mean it looks fine enough. So you know I can live with that.
Keep James Cameron away from remastering his own films.
Yeah, just one of those directors who just really likes that digital look. And the pics, and granted, these are selected photos out of context. I'm sure actually watching the movie isn't that bad, since, hey, at least you have it and you get to watch it. But based on pics I've seen, woof, it looks like PlayStation 3 graphics. It looks like just all the detail and wrinkles gone. Like, they don't look human. They look so digital. It's really weird.
I think what pisses me off is he ruined Terminator 2, which is, in my opinion, his best film. And now he's doing this shit with these movies. It's like, dude, just let somebody else do it. You clearly don't care.
And the excuse everyone was giving for Terminator 2, I don't know if you remember this, but it was when, at the same time they were doing that, was when they did that 3D transfer version, and the excuse was, well, we had to make it look more glossy and digital and smooth it out because we had to format it to 3D, and then that's just the version that ended up on 4K, you know, in 2D, and that's why it looks like that. You don't have that excuse now with these movies. Also, if you're gonna do that Terminator 2, put out a real version, not just a cheap. Oh well, this is just a 2D.
Well, and what really
3D.
pisses me off is, I don't know if you know this, but then, like a few years later, after it was already infamous, they Lionsgate or whoever owns the distribution put out another release of Terminator 2, and they made it sound really vague, like, oh, maybe this is a new scan to fix it. Nope, it was the same copy, just in a different case.
Yeah, that's. I have like I think 3 4K movies because they also come with Blu-ray discs. That is at the top of my list of when I start upgrading more to 4K. Not upgrading that one. I'm perfectly happy with my Blu-ray.
Yeah,
with the Blu-rays of it.
I don't have it on Blu-ray. Luckily, the like HBO Max or whatever streaming service, I never notice any issues. So I think it's based on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, probably. I it's always looked good to me. I have 2 copies. I have a copy of Terminator 2 on Blu-ray by itself, and I also have the 4-pack of the first 4 movies, which are the only ones I care about. So, yeah, I'm
What, you
perfectly
don't
happy
like
with that.
Genesis?
That's the one I haven't seen start to finish. I've seen parts of it.
That
But
is
I
also
haven't
the
watched
one
the
I
whole
haven't seen. I haven't seen any of them.
thing.
I sat through Dark Fate, but
Yeah.
the best thing about Dark
Fate.
Fate was the Red Letter Media review. But that's a different guy.
Well, that's a different guy. All of their Terminator videos are very good. The review of Genesis is hilarious, and they also did a video breaking down the convoluted timeline.
Oh, okay. I kind of want to see Genesis just to finish it. Like, I've seen them all. And
Yeah,
having seen
I'll get
Dark
to it
Fate,
eventually.
my standards are in the floor.
Yeah. Well, and what's worse, killing John Connor as a child in the first 10 minutes, or killing him and turning him into a Terminator as an adult? Like, I don't know what's worse at this point.
I think killing him in the first 10 minutes is way worse, simply because it's right after T2, supposed to be, so it completely makes all of T2 pointless.
You're not wrong. I hate Dark Fate so much.
But
Every time I'm reminded of that.
James Cameron saw things that he remembered, so he clapped.
No, that was Genesis. Get your James Cameron shilling for new Terminator movies information right.
Really?
Although I think this is a Red Letter Media quote. I think they just showed James Cameron the first 10 minutes of Genesis. They didn't show him the whole movie. He's like, oh, this looks like the movie I made.
I don't
This is
know.
good.
I think James Cameron's gone a bit senile, personally.
Maybe.
Okay.
Did you hear where he made like a 9-hour cut of Avatar 2 or 3 or whatever the fuck bullshit he's doing?
Not surprised. I honestly, I actually don't mind those Avatar movies. I don't love them, but
I didn't see the second one because the first one was embarrassing.
I like the second one first. But
Yeah,
I saw them. I saw them in the theater. I missed Avatar. I didn't see it until a re-release a couple years ago. So I saw it for the first time in the theater, and then I watched the second one in the theater shortly after it. Enjoyed them both fine. I enjoyed the second one more. I don't have strong opinions on them.
Am I supposed to get this dumpster out of here?
Probably.
I cannot for the life of me remember what to do. Remember when they were going to make a live-action Avatar The Last Airbender movie, and then James Cameron announced Avatar, so they had to change it?
Yep.
Remember when both of those movies sucked?
Yeah,
oh,
his
wait,
movie's
maybe
better.
there's something...
I'll give him that.
Well, I mean...
I think there's
like...
something... Is there something you need to climb? You need to get high?
Not right now, thanks. That can't be just to jump back over the gate.
Oh, wait, did you get on that blue lift?
Can you?
Yeah, there's a bunch of collectibles up there. Wait, turn on your sonar scanner thing so I'm not, like, losing my mind.
I don't see anything up there.
Because I remember you could, like, unless you can't now since you got it outside, but I think you could use the dumpster to jump on that and then jump on that blue lift.
Yeah,
I could be misremembering this.
It's not dinging my radar.
Okay.
I feel like I'm supposed to open this somehow. Am I just
I feel like I remember being able to get up there, but
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
There's the hospital. Fuck.
It is literally just to get over that one little look.
We solved the mystery, folks.
I almost flipped to my doom.
We did it. Surely we've hit a checkpoint by now. I think we've made decent progress so far.
Yeah, we'll go for maybe another 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe we get past the hospital.
I'm also
fate.
Dark Fate, if you will. God, what a terrible movie. It always makes me want to throw up when I'm reminded of that Rotten Tomatoes score. How many critics gave it a pass and said, well, it's the best since the first two. Like, it's not.
No, the review that
why was everyone saying that?
The review that always baffled me after finally watching it is, do you remember when Cap and Eric reviewed it?
Yes, but I know Cap hated it. I think
Eric was like really high on it.
I wouldn't say if he was high on it, but I got where he was coming from. Like, it's a Terminator movie; it does Terminator things, but he was definitely a lot more positive on it than Cap was.
Shit,
that I remember for sure.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out if that was a checkpoint. It was not.
Oh no!
Are you fucking kidding me?
Remember when Austin was complaining how you can't jump to your death in these games? Just proved him wrong.
Right. If I follow.
Oh my god! I didn't think we'd go back this far.
Yeah, no, there hasn't been a single checkpoint.
Track down Nora. Get her to tell me where Abby is.
You want to keep going for a bit, or?
We can keep going for a bit.
Yeah, one more shot. I mean, at least it's not like a lot of action. I mean, you know where you're going. It's just all that looting you gotta do again.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do nearly as much, but I do need to get in that safe because they're the second weapon holsters in it.
Well, and now you know how to get in the safes. I mean, that won't take that
Yeah.
long.
And I know how to...
Thank God there's no trip mines around this area.
I turn off permadeath. I do feel like some of these checkpoints are a little unbalanced for permadeath, though. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, sure.
Through here.
Yeah, it seems like you can't really be sure until like a full cutscene has happened.
Yeah.
But God, I've talked about this before. I'll try to keep this brief. But
we're 7 videos in, and he's already run out of things to talk about.
Well, it's if you get me going on Dark Fate, it's hard to let that go.
Hey, Robert,
Like,
do you know a very important secret about the Terminator franchise?
Who knows how many wolves are.
It's the same movie every time.
There's no fate but what we make.
Okay, progress.
Just
Except-
kidding.
But like, God, it pisses me off how in Dark Fate it's like, well, no, they stopped Judgment Day, and then another evil AI called Legion took over, and then they made Terminators that do the same thing. They even say hunter killers. Like,
Yeah, no, it's absurd.
it's so bankrupt and stupid. It's just Terminator 2 again. And hearing anyone say, well, it's the best since the second one. It's like, no, screw you. Like, that is the worst.
Did you
offense
watch the
possible.
other ones?
3 is better. Like,
Yeah, 3 is just 2 again, but at least it's got Arnold.
yeah.
Well, I mean, Dark Fate does too, but we saw how that turned out.
Yeah. He's the highlight of the movie. I mean, it's stupid, but that scene does make me laugh because it's Arnold, you know?
I want to see that movie where he's going to play Santa.
Yeah. We'll do an evil Santa, or not evil, but a dark Santa cinematic universe
Have
with
you
him and David
seen,
Harbour.
Have you seen Santa's Sleigh?
I haven't seen it, but I think I've seen the kill count on it. I know about it.
It's so much fun. It's got
You put him in.
it's got Goldberg.
Yeah, and maybe in our cinematic universe, though, let's not bring back Mel Gibson's Santa. Maybe let's not
Why?
do that
That's
one.
the best one.
All right.
I haven't seen
I haven't either. No, the only one I saw was Violent
Ooh.
Night. I wish I liked that. Ooh, what?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. But no, this means we can put Kurt Russell Santa in it too. Because he played Santa.
I thought this was for evil Santas, though.
Well, they're not evil Santas. They're dark Santa. I mean, we haven't seen Kurt Russell Santa kill anyone yet. That doesn't mean he hasn't.
I like how you said yet.
Yeah.
How many of those have
I don't
been
know what
made
that third
now?
movie's. He made 2 of those.
Yeah, the third one will just be, oh, fucking ho.
Give me a Santa movie, multiverse movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, David Harbour, and Kurt Russell. I'm in. You got a movie.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Okay, did my brain break? Did we skip past the building with the safe, or did you already get that?
That's... Did we skip it? Or is it up here?
Was it across the street? I just thought we had already done that before
You're
doing
right,
this
we
section.
did. So I'm going
Oh.
a little backward. Okay.
Okay, I mean that's fine. You can still clear out this area first. But I was like, wait, am I going nuts?
Was it upstairs
Dude.
over here?
There we go.
No, because this is like a restaurant. Didn't I climb a truck?
That sounds right.
I think it was this one.
But remember, it's also the building. It's upstairs. It's where that jump scare is. When you try to work on the bench. You just said you didn't want to miss that safe. And...
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, because I would have totally skipped it. Then been like, shit, I knew I forgot something.
Yeah, I've said this before. There's almost every freaking time I replay The Last of Us, the first one, there's usually just that one safe I miss. It's the one in Billstown, where there's the safe and then there's the note for the combination at like the other side of this little section of the map. And if you go like just beyond that point, where like the mines start showing up, like you can't go back. And almost every time I play it, I'm like, oh crap, I missed the safe and I can't. Dang it.
I gotta show you that game running on a PC at some point.
Whoa, they still haven't fixed it?
No, it runs beautifully.
Oh, okay, good.
I can run it at 1440p ultra settings and get 60 FPS. I just have to turn on DLSS. And you didn't understand a goddamn thing I just said.
Nope.
So DLSS is probably like the one thing AI has given us that is good. Basically, it'll take the game and render it at a low resolution, like 720p or something, and then AI will upscale it to the resolution that you're wanting, so it's not as hard on your system, and you can run more demanding games on weaker hardware.
I mean, AI as a tool is good for a lot of things. I think we all have just kind of a different idea of like what the line should be, because you know, like there's like big special effects movies with like these big crowd shots with all these CGI people in the background, and yeah, AI is a tool that can fill that stuff in and make things easier. Like that's not inherently bad. It's just like, you know, at what point do you draw the line and go from, okay, this is a tool that enhances or makes the scene easier to do, versus, okay, this is no longer art. Now we're just letting computers, you know. It's a very complicated issue.
Please. God. Please. Don't. Please. Don't.
Doesn't mean I support AI art. People are right to be upset about that.
No, yeah, I mean it's not even good. Like I don't get the point.
Yeah.
What the fuck, people?
Yeah, there's a great video essay that Patrick Willems did talking about the AI art phenomenon, and one thing he talked about was how back in the day he made one of the things that really put him on the map as a YouTuber was this X-Men short film parody he did that was like X-Men directed by Wes Anderson, which, you know, he put a lot of work and effort into with the costumes and the direction and cinematography to like make it legit. And now there's just all these like AI, well, what if Wes Anderson directed this? And what if Wes Anderson directed the Avengers? And like, it looks like garbage, but you know, for most people, it's fine. And it's like, no, it's just a lazy way to do a thing instead of actual talent or effort, you know?
Yeah.
And on top of that, you have the ethical issue of, yeah, and it's stealing art from other people to make this thing, and people not getting money or recognition for it. Like, it's fundamentally bad.
Be good.
Damn. Oh shit, I've got a shit ton of pills.
Don't take too many of those at once.
Ooh, improved silencers. Let's go.
I mean, earlier we were talking about Bruce Campbell, and you know, you don't need to recast Ash. Leave that one alone. Do you have any other examples that anyone else you feel kind of sacred, or any movie you're like, okay, I'm cool with remakes, but don't remake that one? Like, are there any other examples you can think of for you personally?
I feel like I had a ton until you asked me. Let's see. I mean, I kind of threw out like Freddy Krueger, but I'm also like open to being won over.
Yeah. I'm not against. I'm not inherently against remaking John Carpenter's The Thing as just a new adaptation of that story and doing something different with it, but it doesn't sound like a good idea. I don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, that's tricky because it's not like it's his original work.
But it's so definitive.
Yeah, like I'm open to being won over, but I also just
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel about Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, which is an
what
adaptation
do you
of a
mean the
book.
remake
But,
is better?
oh God, don't do that to me.
No, I do want to watch the remake though, just to say I've seen it.
Me too.
Blind commentary.
I can't blind commentary for sure. I can't judge a movie. I haven't seen start to finish. I've seen clips.
I
That's not
think
enough. The story behind that movie is fascinating.
I've just gotten to the point where I don't want another RoboCop movie. I don't know. You had a chance with that Neil Blomkamp one. Now I just don't care.
Yeah, that was definitely.
I don't know if you can recapture the satire of the first one. We live in a satire world now. Like RoboCop today would just beat today.
True. Yeah, exactly. Okay, before you get that dumpster out of there, can you humor me and try to climb on that thing? Because
you were
like
a second too late.
Ah, damn it. That's fine.
I also
someone will correct us in the comments.
I don't think you can, because the only time you'd be able to do it is like right here, but you'd have to time it, and it's not dinging my echo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's throwing me off. I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't.
God, we're not even halfway through the game, and we're already on episode 7 of this.
It's true. It's gonna be a while.
I've already got my thumbnail set out. I'm gonna change the thumbnail when we eventually get to the Abby part, and then change it when we get to the whatever you call where you switch back to Ellie, like the epilogue or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Or the third acts, but I mean, this game is not structured traditionally in that respect. Yeah, and like I said earlier, I totally respect just not wanting more from a property, where it's like, I'm over it, I'm done, I don't need more like that. I totally respect and understand. It's okay to let some things end.
But no one's ever really gone. No, yeah. I mean, I'm with that. I'm like that with very few properties because I always want to see someone else's idea for things that I like. But like I don't know. We tried RoboCop. They didn't get it.
Well, and I mean, I'm not like the world's biggest Back to the Future fan or anything. I like those movies a lot, but like everyone involved with those is pretty staunchly against remaking it, and I think they have like a pact that as long as they are all alive, like individually, like that film won't be remade, and I respect that.
Yeah, no. I'm also fine with them not remaking it. Like, I love the first two. What?
Why wouldn't you jump in the grass? That made me so nervous.
I really love the first two. I don't like 3 all that much. I'm indifferent on a remake, but just on paper, I don't want it. I could be won over though.
But like when everyone involved is against getting it remaked, I'm like, yeah, I'll have their back.
This is where my cynical side comes in. It's not theirs to decide. It's the way it is.
Oh, I mean, yes and no. It's a very complicated issue with, rights.
No, yeah, for sure.
And like ownership.
It's not my place to worry about it. If they remake it and it looks cool. If they remake it and it looks bad, what are you gonna do? If they don't remake it, awesome.
Yeah, it's the thing with Back to the Future. I've just never heard a pitch that got me excited. Where it's like, yeah, but what if we updated it for modern?
You don't want Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland to go back to the
future? And I like them, but no. it's just every pitch I've heard, it's like, okay, then make an original time travel movie that doesn't have to be Back to the Future. Like, I forget, did you see Totally Killer?
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but I wanted to. But that was one. I mean, okay, now I'm remembering. I think you had mixed feelings on how they handled the social commentary stuff, but still, it was like, well, what if you took someone from today?
Yeah, no, that was awful.
Put them back in the 80s. Okay, so maybe you could do that better, but still, it's like, yeah, you can do that in an original film. That doesn't have to be a Back to the Future remake. Like, just make a new time travel story.
Yeah.
There are hundreds of them.
I hate these fucking things.
Yeah. And, you know, we were talking about Psycho earlier. That actually could be a fun blind commentary. The story behind that movie is fascinating. And, you know, we got the Bates Motel show, which puts more of its own spin on it. And what I've seen of that show, I've quite enjoyed. So
yeah, I keep meaning to watch that, and then I keep getting distracted.
Yeah, I still need to go back to it.
Okay.
Like I said, it varies from movie to movie for me because, you know,
Get
one
off
movie.
me!
Be careful. Like
God damn
one
it!
movie. These guys really difficult.
If it's the beginning, I'm done. Okay.
Yeah, are we at the end?
Yeah, we're gonna stop there. It's already 9:30, and
Well,
I don't have
sorry about
another
that.
run in me. Yeah, I mean, you didn't do it. All right, guys. Chat, as always, thank you for hanging out. We will be back in 2 weeks from today with more of The Last of Us Part 2. As I said, I might come back and do something next week on my own. I'm not sure yet. I will keep you all updated in the community tab. And as always, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button if you all are inclined. I will be back next Friday, not tomorrow, but the week after, with our review of Chop